So today we are talking about graphing lines that are not in slope-intercept form. Okay? So remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where I basically have y all by itself. I have some number times x, and then I have the y-intercept over on the end, right? Now, these don't look like that. However, you can make them look like that. And then I can graph it just like I have been. So, if I'm taking a look at this one, and I want to get the y all by itself, Pablo, tell me, what do I do?
Well, I didn't do anything. Just rewrite the equation.
How?
Into y-intercept.
How?
I took the y
Yeah.
and then put
So you wrote y equals.
2x.
Oh, that you can't do.
Damn it.
Ah! Oh, language. Oh my gosh. Olivia, what can you do? Yes. You can't just pick up a 2x and move it to the other side willy-nilly. What you can do is I can subtract 2x from both sides. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other, right? So I can minus 2x from this side and minus 2x from this side. That's allowed, right? Now, look at what happens. The 2x's cancel each other out. On the left, all I have left is y. Now here's where, remember, I want it to be in this form. So I want the sum number times x piece to come next. So instead of writing 2 minus 2x, which is not wrong, but it doesn't fit this form, I want to take whatever has the x with it and kind of just shove it up in front. So I would write this as negative 2x and then a plus 2.
Hold up. Hold up. So you're telling me you can just do that?
Because I subtracted the same thing from both sides. Yep, your subtraction property of equality allows you to take whatever you want and just like go back to, you know, not related to this. Say I had x plus 5 equals 7, right? Don't I subtract 5 from both sides? Yeah, I'm allowed to do that. As long as I subtract from both sides, right? I can do that. That's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm just subtracting 2x from both sides. And you can't do 2 minus 2x because they're not like terms. Right? So all I do is instead of writing 2 minus 2x, which is the same thing as this, aren't these two the same thing? 2 minus 2x and negative 2x plus 2? Aren't they the same? They are the same, but I want to write it this way because I want it to match the y equals mx plus b. And now, guys, once you have it written like this, you know how to graph it. You know to start at 2 and then follow my slope, which tells me to go down 2 and to the, you always go right, down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1. Right? If I don't have a fraction, you can think of it as a fraction, negative 2 over 1. So I'm going down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1. So you do that a couple of times, and there's my line. I should use a straight edge so it looks better. There it is. So guys, that's really your only steps. If you have, oh sorry, you couldn't even see the graph. You guys are so bad at telling me. So anyway, if your equation is not in y equals mx plus b or slope-intercept form, you just rewrite it so it is. So when I look at number 14, again, I'm trying to get the y by itself. So what should I do? Plus 3x to both sides. So on the left, I just have y. How do I write the right-hand side? Olivia? Correct. Did everybody hear her? Look, she said 3x plus 4. Whatever this is, you just want to stick it in front. 3x, and then the 4 was positive, so I write plus 4. You don't want to write 4 plus 3x. And mathematically, yes, it is the same thing, but it does not fit our y equals mx plus b form. So you would get the slope and the y-intercept all mixed up. Don't do that. Now that you have this, does everybody have this?
Yes.
Graph it. If you haven't already, graph it. You guys know how. Did everybody graph what I graphed? So we should have started at positive 4. And then my slope is 3 over 1, right? So up 3 to the right 1 I should have gone.
Okay, I got the.
Yes.
All right, what do I do on 15?
You subtract 4x from both sides.
Yes, minus 4x minus 4x. So now I get y equals, then
4x minus 5.
yes, negative 4x minus 5. Yep. You gonna tell me how to graph?
No, I have.
Oh yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Since -5 to
Now, if it's a negative 5 there, it's gonna stay a negative 5 right there.
Sorry, I was
Elizabeth, you okay?
Yeah.
All right. Whew. So, any Hoosers, I'm going to graph this thing. And I'm going to start at, yes, negative 5. Always on the y-axis, remember. Always, always, always on the y-axis. And then where does that slope tell me to go?
Down 4.
Down 4 to the right 1, yes. Okay, actually, this might be a good time for me to talk to you about this part. So let's say I wanted to go down for, oh, maybe it's not. I'm going to make up a new problem, if you don't mind. So you can graph this one if you want, but I want to give you this example. What if I was supposed to graph y equals negative 3x minus 8. Let's say I was supposed to graph that, right? So let me zoom in here so we have it kind of a little bit bigger. If I was going to graph this thing, wouldn't I start at negative 8? And then I would normally go down 1, 2, 3 to the right 1. But I'm off the graph. Now, if I'm 1 off the graph, I still usually just do it. But let's just say, you know, there is an alternative. Do you know it? What? What could I do, Tyler, instead of going down 3 to the right 1? Yeah, you can basically do the opposite of both. Instead of going down 3 to the right 1, you can go up 3 to the left 1. So I know I always keep saying you only go right, you only go right, you only go right. That is the only exception. Is if it's going to go off the grid, then I can do the opposite of both. Yeah.
I already do that anyway. Do one up and then one down, or like all of them.
You can.
Whole line. Because
You totally can. Yeah, it's a straight line, so you should be able to go either way. But sometimes kids mix up and they go left when they shouldn't be. So as long as you're good about it. So that is literally the only time, me personally, that I go left. I always go right unless I'm off the grid and I'm like, oops. But like I even said, 1 or 2 off the grid, I still just stick it there. Yeah.
and for if it's a positive, you can put down and left.
You're right. As long as you're doing the opposite of both, you can do that. So just don't do the opposite of 1 because then it's going to mess up. But especially with a problem like this, you should definitely be checking this graph should be going down from left to right, correct? So if I did it correctly, it should be going down. This is the kind of thing, if you messed it up and you only did the opposite of one and not the other, your graph is going to go the other way. It's going to go up when it should have been down or vice versa. So please, for the love of math, just check that your line's going the right way. Okay? Okay, now look at 16 because 16 is a little bit different. I'm still going to start off the same way. I'm still going to subtract 4x to the other side, but I'm actually not done yet. So I'm still going to take that negative 4x and I'm going to stick it. Negative 4x, and then I have a positive 6. Olivia, what do I do now?
You divide by 2.
Right. I have to get the y totally by itself. It is not totally by itself. It's got this 2 dangling around. You have to get rid of it. So, since I'm multiplying 2 and y together, I want to divide by 2. Now here's another place where a lot of kids mess up. You need to divide everybody by 2. You get divided by 2 and you get divided by 2. Everybody. So the entire left-hand side gets divided by 2 and the entire right-hand side gets divided by 2. Everybody. So that leaves me with y equal to negative.
2x plus 3.
That's it. And now I can graph like usual. So everybody go ahead and graph that one, lickety split. Your graph should be going down from left to right, correct? Because we have a negative slope. Again, that doesn't guarantee you that your graph is right, because lots of lines go down, but at least you're not totally wrong. Okay, go ahead and try 17. Just try the rewriting it part. Don't graph it yet, but 17, rewrite that one so that it's in slope-intercept form. Yeah.
Y 2x minus 3.
That sounds right to me. I don't know because I haven't done it yet. Did everybody start off by adding 6x?
Yeah.
So now you have 3y. You're going to take 6x and you're going to stick it. And then you have a minus 9. But then you have to divide by 3. Everybody divided by 3. So 2x minus 3 is correct. Plot that quickly for me, please. Oops. Okay, we got it? Oh, you can't even see what I did. Does yours look like mine? I hope. Cross at negative 3 and then up 2 over 1. Pablo, do you have a question on number 18?
No.
Okay. Now, 18's different. 18 might throw you for a loop. I don't know. Try it. Don't graph it yet. Just get y by itself. Do what you think you're supposed to do. I'm so curious. What are you going to do with this one? All right. Did we get some version of an answer? Olivia, what's your answer?
-ax plus 2.
Okay. Any other answers? Everybody got that? What'd you say? Negative 3x plus 2? Well, let's try it. So, first thing I have to do is minus x to both sides, right?
Yes.
Right. 3y equals, take that and stick it, negative x plus 6. Okay.
Wait. I think that's wait. So
Justina?
Well, I need negative x plus it's like x equals 5 sum equals 1x. And then 5
Yes. So you can put if you want to write that 1 there, you absolutely can. Remember, there's always, in front of an x, there's always a 1. And then this one just happens to be negative, so we can have a negative 1 there. But yeah, you still have to divide by 3, right? Everybody gets divided by 3. So, another way to write this right here. Look at this chunk right here that I'm looking at. Yeah, you can separate it. You can separate it to negative 1/3 and then put the x next to it. And then plus 6 divided by 3 is 2. And you should do that, right? Because I'm gonna have slopes that are fractions. That happens all the time. And it's not even a bad thing to have a slope as a fraction. It's kind of convenient because it tells me up and over. It looks a little weird if you leave x in the numerator. So usually we just rewrite it, just put it off to the side right here. Just whatever that is, just boop, bring it down. And now you can graph it easy peasy. So hopefully you start at positive 2. And then my slope tells me to go down 1/3. Oops. Those can be tricky, where you have to divide by something. And it doesn't always divide nicely either. Okay, so what I would like to do, I'm going to give you about 10 minutes or so maybe to do the ones on the back, 19 to 24. Okay, so let me stop this.